Join young Jim Hawkins and the infamous Long John Silver on an adventure packed with pirates, sword fights, live music, and heart-pounding action. Tickets are going fast. Get yours today at childrenstheater.org.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living Healthy and Aging Well. My name is Ken Haglund, and we are broadcasting from the AM 950 radio station that overlooks a beautiful Bryant Lake Regional Park located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. It is another beautiful day here in the Twin Cities, and I am so grateful to be here with you today, and I hope all of you listening are doing well. We are on the air every Saturday from noon to 1 to talk about your health and your life. We cover a wide range of topics to help you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. We have another great show for you today. Joining me in a few minutes will be Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And Harvey is here today to talk about what is ahead for Medicare in 2026. Pearl & Company specializes in Medicare education, enrollment, and client servicing. Having someone from Pearl & Company who can advocate for you to make certain that your doctors and medications are obtained from in-network providers helps keep your expenses as low as possible. Cash flow matters, and agents aim to protect your cash flow. Health insurance should not be left up to chance. You don't want to wing it. Throwing a dart and hoping for the best plan is risky. Responding to a flyer in the email or a famous sports or TV star on TV or some other marketing effort is not finding someone who is looking after you. Yes, health insurance should be all about you, and it takes a little bit of planning and strategizing. Pearl & Company provides concierge-level service to guide you through the process. You don't know what you don't know, and you will also learn why Harvey never charges a fee ever. So we're going to have a great time here with Harvey. He's been on the show before, and he's a wealth of information regarding Medicare programs. I want to thank all of you that leave us messages on our radio show phone line. We appreciate hearing from you, and we welcome your comments, questions, and topics for future shows. Also, if you are interested in being a guest on our radio show, please call or text us at 612-999-3426. You can also contact us on our website at livinghealthyradio.com. There you can find information about upcoming guests as well as listen to our previous shows. We look forward to hearing from you. We are adding new listeners to the show each week, not only here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, but also throughout the country. You can find podcasts for all of our radio shows on the AM 950 radio website, and we can also be found on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and many other podcasts and streaming services. You can also watch our broadcast live on the radio station's Facebook page at AM 950 Radio. Now, when Harvey's on the show, we always get questions either by phone or by text. So if you have a question for us today, there's two ways to reach us. First, by calling the AM 950 radio station, and our friendly show producer, Patrick, will get your call on the air. Our phone number here is 952-946-6205. Once again, 952-946-6205, or you can directly text us your question at 612-999-3426. Now, don't worry if you missed our contact numbers. I'll repeat them throughout the show. All right. I want to welcome my special guest for today's show. Not just any guest, but a special guest, Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company. Welcome to the show, Harvey.
It's always an honor to make your list, Ken. It's good to be back. It's good to see you all.
Well, it's great to have you here. And of course, time is of the essence.
Yes.
We are fast approaching it's called
annual enrollment
not
period.
Open.
Nope. Open enrollment period means something else.
Something else.
This is annual. And that's for existing Medicare clients.
Right. Right.
If you are new to Medicare this year, you don't get an annual enrollment period because you're in your initial enrollment period.
That's
and there's
right.
lots of different avenues to go down, and we make sure that you're in the right lane.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, just 3 months before your birthday, 3 months after your birthday. Isn't that how it goes?
Well, and that's for only people who, I'm glad you mentioned that, Pierce. That's only for people who have an individual health insurance plan.
Mhm.
That rule only applies to them. So if you are working and you're not in a group insurance plan, you have your own insurance. I used to have my own insurance before Medicare days. That 3 months before your 65th birth month,
Yep.
your 65th birth month, and 3 months after that 65th birth month, that's your 7-month window if you're in an individual plan. If you're in a group plan, stay in the group plan.
Oh,
Work as
right.
long as you want.
Right.
You do not have to apply for Medicare. In fact, defer it. Don't even apply for Part A. Put it off.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're making contributions to a health savings account, you do not want to apply for Part A.
Right.
You're shorting yourself an opportunity.
Wow.
So that's one of the many, many things that we go
Okay,
over.
so a question did come up recently between our last show. People said, well, let's say 3 months before my birth month or 3
Right,
months
right.
after, they said, so if I enroll in any one of those 7 months,
Mhm.
when does my coverage become effective though?
Typically the first day of the following month, and I'm going to say ish,
Okay.
because this is Medicare. So things move a little bit. But if you apply for a Medicare ID number before your birth month,
Mhm.
your coverage will start the first of your birth month. Unless your birthday is the first of the month, then it starts 1 month prior. So this is where I say
Okay,
Medicare
right.
is constantly a moving sliding scale of sorts, but it's
Yeah.
approximate.
Yeah. Well, again, that's why you
Everything
want,
is individualized.
right. That's why you want to have a concierge service like
Well,
yours.
and that's what we're doing is we're
Yeah.
customizing the individual need. And actually, that's one of the things I want to touch on today, of which there's a lot to touch on. I don't want to miss the opportunity to remind my son-in-law that today is your birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Josh. So the entire world that's listening in, because AM 950 is now worldwide
Yes.
listened
Digitally.
to.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody in the world is wishing Josh a happy birthday. Lots of things going on. And a lot of people in Minnesota have been hearing news of Medicare Advantage plans pulling out of the market.
Mhm.
We're not going to get into carrier specific details, but yes, there's a lot of change going on. And here's the good news. This is not as bad as it sounds. There's some really wonderful opportunities that are available. There is an increased interest in Medigap, Medicare supplement plans. Part is because of that opportunity. Part is because of other reasons. We're going to go into details on an individual basis, how they differ and how that may best apply to you as an individual. But there are more options available than one thinks. So as dire as it sounds, and I'm not saying it's unimportant, but
Yeah.
there are opportunities here. The thing that really is most important is your doctor networks, your prescription in-network status. I just spoke to a client in Maryland this morning who advised that one of the major carriers out east, and it's actually a nationwide carrier, doctors are no longer accepting that plan in Maryland.
Wow.
And it's like, whoa. So, I mean, this is constant, almost daily new news that's going on.
Yeah.
So Medicare is not a one and done. And it's one of the things that we underscore with everybody. You must get an annual review. If you're not doing it, you're cheating yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You are missing opportunities and you're setting yourself up for unnecessary surprises. And one of the things in Pearl & Company is that we pride ourselves on protecting people from life's surprises. Don't put yourself in an exposure that you don't need to be in. Another big thing that's going on is that a number of the carriers are dropping broker support. And that is a huge problem because you end up not having an advocate swinging bat for you, looking at your needs, your interests, the advice that applies to you, pertains to you as an individual. That's huge. And we're keeping track of who's sticking with broker support, who's eliminating broker support. It can't just ride it out and say, I like what I've got, therefore it will be fine next year. It's typically not the case. For our under 65 folks, there are anticipated changes with the annual premium tax credits coming down because of the recent bill that was signed in Washington. We're monitoring what those potential reduced premium tax credits will will impact people that are applying for health insurance through MNsure or the local state marketplaces. There are no final decisions. Congress is still debating that, but we're monitoring that very closely. And then, in addition to Medicare, there's just some other stuff that's going on. So we just got word this week of a new product out there called Income Protection. And we'll touch on that in a little bit. But basically, if you've got a pair of spouses and they're both on Social Security and one spouse decides to die, that impacts the income of the surviving spouse tremendously.
That's right.
And so these income protection programs help secure the lost income and replenish it so that the surviving spouse is not now in a devastating financial situation. The government, when they send out the quarterly bills for premiums for Part B, they suggest that we'll just take 3, 4, or 5 months out of your checking account all at one time. Well, as you said, cash flow matters.
Right.
So we learned how you can pay for this on a credit card once a month and get affinity points, and it doesn't cost extra. So these are some of the nuances and things that we learn on a daily basis. We've got a number of classes that are coming up September 29th at 2:00 at Thompson Park Activity Center in West St. Paul. September 30th, we're going to be at 6 p.m. in Shoreview at the Recreation Center, not the library, but the Recreation Center. October 9th, we've got a Minnesota Men's Prostate Group that we're going to be helping out their members. If you are part of a health group and looking for a guide to chat with, we will schedule individual meetings with your group.
All right. The music is cueing us out here, Harvey. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And Harvey's here to talk about what's ahead for Medicare in 2026. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Hageland, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Overwhelmed trying to make sense of Medicare? As a licensed advisor, I can help you determine your healthcare needs and evaluate your options. I'm Harvey Pearl of Pearl & Company, and I want you to have the peace of mind knowing you have the best coverage available. You deserve an advocate you can trust and coverage you can rely on. And there's no fee, ever. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Find me at pearlsofwisdom.com. That's PERLES of wisdom.com. So we can strategize together.
Discover a world of foods. Visit Shanghai International Wholesale Market, a spacious food warehouse open to the public with discounts for buying in bulk. Incredible selection of global and local foods, 500 different types of noodles, specialty items, and local foods you won't find anywhere else. Shanghai Wholesale Market, your local international food warehouse. Shanghai is just north of University Avenue off of Pryor.
Park Tavern in St. Louis Park is the perfect place for fun. Their bowling lanes are a blast. Their full menu is amazing. Burgers, tacos, wings, sliders, pizza, dinners, and more. Or try their weekend breakfast menu. Enjoy all the games on their numerous TVs while enjoying their drink menu and happy hour specials. And the patio is open to enjoy the warmer months. And even when it's not too warm, they've got heaters and curtains. On Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park, your next get-together with friends or family will be great at the Park Tavern.
Hi, I'm Scott Shamblot from Shamblot Family Dentistry. We're the fear-free, shame-free dental office. We know dental anxiety and dental phobia are real. We'll take the time to get to know you and give you what you need to be comfortable at all times. We offer free nitrous oxide laughing gas and have high-tech options to help you feel calm and relaxed during your appointments. We'll help you get through every appointment in the most pain-free way possible. If you're having a dental emergency, we'll try and get you in the same day you call because we don't like to see anyone in pain. As my daughter Rachel says,
if you don't see my dad, please see another dentist. Take care of your teeth because they're the only ones you get.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. I've been going to Shamblat Family Dentistry for years. They get me in last minute when I'm in pain and make regular checkups easy and comfortable.
Shamblat Family Dentistry in Hopkins and St. Paul. Find them online at shamblatfamilydentistry.com or call 1-800-FIX-MY-TEETH.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Hageland, and joining me today is Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And Harvey's here today to talk about what is ahead for Medicare in 2026. Now, Pearl & Company specializes in Medicare education, enrollment, and client servicing. So if you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. All right, Harvey, I know people are just clamoring to know, how do I get a hold of this amazing guy?
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. 651-303-8889. Our phones are only answered by human beings. We don't have voicemail. We take a lot of pride in that. You will always get a human to listen to you at Pearl & Company. I just started, I would just want to pick up where I left off in terms of if you're in a health support group and you need some advice on health insurance options, we will come and meet with your group. We would like at least 5 people to show up. That would be kind of handy, but we will talk with your group. So we're meeting with the Minnesota Prostate Men's Support Group. Many of them are in a plan that is exiting the marketplace, and they're understandably concerned about what do I do?
But this is why your situation can change.
Exactly.
Your health can change, whatever, and that can affect again your coverage levels.
Life is to be lived in pencil, carry a big eraser. Yeah, okay. So we are proud of the fact that, oh, by the way, we've got on October 23rd, the queer community in South Minneapolis on Hennepin is doing a health and wellness fair, and we're going to be teaching about Medicare on that date as well. So we've got a focus on serving underserved communities. So we are getting broadly known in the Hmong community, the LGBT community, the trans community, the Medicaid community, and for people who are getting divorced. They've got their own unique set of challenges. So don't think that your situation is odd or unique or different. You are one of everybody else going through their own unique situations. And our goal here is to ease your stomach acids. That is one of the things we take pride in. One of the other things I learned recently is we represent 11 carriers in Minnesota, plus additional carriers in the additional 5 states in which we're licensed. That gives you choice. And what I learned is that not every broker offers more than 3 carriers to choose from. Oh, really? So it's really kind of interesting. So one of the important messages that Medicare wants us to let you know is whatever a broker has access to is not all that there is. And so we take pride in the fact that we represent 11 carriers here in Minnesota. We want to customize as close to your needs as possible by having the broadest number of choices. Medicare Advantage, just as a quick reminder, is the analogy I'm using recently is the amusement park. When you go to an amusement park, do you want to pay for each ride and maybe have a limited choice of rides to choose from? That's Medicare Advantage, Part C. You have doctor networks that you have to play within. You can go outside of the network, but you pay extra for the ride, okay? Whereas if you're in a Medigap plan, you get the park pass. You can ride as many rides as you want over and over and over again, and you have access to just about every ride in the park. And that analogy people are beginning to identify with. So it's annual enrollment season, folks, and we just made 3 appointments this morning. 80% of my clients are now calling us to set their annual enrollment. It's amazing. There used to be 20%. Now the reverse is true. So there's 20% of you that have not made an appointment yet. And I'm just letting you know, slots are filling up fast. But then there's the rest of you who are not our clients yet. Please call. Do not hesitate. 651-303-8889. And, to the point that change is constantly changing. Car designs change, fashion changes, technology certainly changes. Medicare is changing every year. And even in the year, it's changing throughout the year.
Right.
So this is where we want to educate people. And our job here is not to sell you a damn thing. We just want to teach you, empower you with knowledge. The answers will reveal themselves. And then all we ask is in exchange for the education that you will let us enroll you and be your advisor ongoingly. And that's how we get paid. That's how we keep our doors open.
And it doesn't cost the client anything.
Doesn't cost the client anything. And even more importantly than that, we are not incentivized from any one carrier or plan to another. We are your advocate. We're working for you, not the insurance companies.
Wow.
And that is something that our clients have constantly told us. And we're very, very complimented. All of our Google reviews are 5-star reviews, which we don't take for granted. We work very hard to maintain that, but it's a huge compliment. But it also reflects a lot of what we're doing.
Well, I think the other key is that you are independent. You can find the best match, the best fit for your clients.
Well, our goal is to find that ideal connection.
Yeah.
And we don't like to use the word best because there's probably actually Medicare says we can't use the word best.
Okay, sure.
Interestingly enough.
I'm glad I raised that.
Yes, I am too, because that really is an important point. But our goal is to find the most ideal connection. And, if you're working with somebody and you trust them and you've got a good relationship with them, stick with them. We want you working with somebody who you're comfortable with.
Yes.
But if you're not working with somebody, we want to be that person. And we're not being shy.
You should be working with somebody.
Right. You should absolutely be working with somebody, because when you call 1-800-PLEASE-IGNORE-ME.com, that's exactly what you get. Yeah. The person you call on the TV ad who is answering that phone, they don't know who you are. They don't care who you are. They just want you to buy something. And they don't care if it fits you or not. So our clients appreciate the fact that they have someone that they can trust, that they can come to, that they can call all year round with questions. And we want you to do that. And that's why we have people answering our phones all year long. So broker support matters. And without it, clients lose an advocate. So we help fix billing errors and updating addresses and arranging for vaccines. I know that's a political hot button right now, but right now this week, we worked with a client that needed a special vaccine to address her white blood cell count and was having trouble getting it to happen. And I got on the phone with her and Mayo Clinic and we made it happen that day. So we get involved and it's personal. It's very personal. And we want to be that person for you and with you. Yeah. So we're passionately and actively involved.
Well, and you've been that way for the years I've known you.
Well, but nothing changes.
You're not a flash in the pan there, Harvey.
That's the one thing that doesn't change. And Medicare may change from year to year, and all the other stuff that's going on around is changing from us. But I mean, the Inflation Reduction Act, it reduced cost of medications from $8,000 a year to $2,000 a year. Right. In the new year, that's going to be $2,100 is the max you'll spend on prescriptions. So again, another example of how things are changing, and this is how we strategize.
But you have been an advocate for your clients for the years I've known you. So it's if people have any questions, they got to give you a call. All right, we hear the music. It's time for a short break. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And Harvey's here to talk about what's ahead for Medicare in 2026. And the time is of the essence, folks. We're having the annual enrollment coming up here in just 2 or 3 weeks, actually. If you have a question for Harvey, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Hageland, and you're listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. It's the start of our favorite season in Minnesota, football season. With all the hype and action this season brings, we know things can get loud and messy quick. Before you invite your friends and family over to watch the big game, you better call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to clean up all of those fumble moments in your home. And as always, you can score a guaranteed touchdown with great savings from Zero Res this month. Carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. And this month you can get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Plus $75 off an air duct cleaning. And don't forget about your dryer vent, too. Having Zero Res over will be a big victory for your home. You'll always come away a winner, even if the guys in the purple or the maroon don't. Call 952-ZERO-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
Overwhelmed trying to make sense of Medicare? As a licensed advisor, I can help you determine your healthcare needs and evaluate your options. I'm Harvey Pearl of Pearl & Company, and I want you to have the peace of mind knowing you have the best coverage available. You deserve an advocate you can trust and coverage you can rely on. And there's no fee, ever. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Call me now at 651-303-8889 so we can strategize together.
Hey, Francois, where are we going and why do you have so many canvas bags?
Salut Laura, on y va chez Nicolette's Macarons.
Oh, I've never been to Nicolette's store. They're just off Highway 169 and 36th in Plymouth.
Oui, ils ont 16 saveurs de macarons là.
They have 16 flavors of macaroons at the store. That's why you have so many canvas bags. I love how Nicolette supports small food entrepreneurs. Let's hurry. They're open afternoons, Wednesday through Friday, and midday on Saturdays.
Nicolette, c'est génial. Allons-y.
Let's go.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Sunshine today with a high of 74, then tonight clear with a low of 51. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lindale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Saturday. Welcome back. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your highest quality of life. My name is Ken Haglund, and joining me today is Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And Harvey is here today helping us understand what is ahead for Medicare in 2026. Now, whether you're an adult child helping your parents or you're on Medicare, this is really an important show for you to listen to. And if you have any questions, give us a call, and we can also make sure that you get Harvey's number here as well throughout the show. Before we turn to our conversation with Harvey, though, I want to mention this radio show is brought to you in part each week by Minnesota Hospice. Minnesota Hospice is an independent, locally owned medical practice serving our Twin Cities communities with comprehensive end-of-life health care. The team at Minnesota Hospice provides patients and family members with award-winning end-of-life healthcare services. You may not be aware that hospice brings compassionate medical, social, emotional, and spiritual services to your home with typically no cost to you or your family. Please do not wait and be sure and look at how hospice care can benefit you and your loved ones. If you have any questions regarding end-of-life care or support, please feel free to contact the compassionate team of experts at Minnesota Hospice. They are available to answer your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pick up the phone right now, give them a call, and you'll get a trained registered nurse to answer your questions. Their phone number is 952-898-1022. Once again, 952-898-1022, or visit them online at minnesotahospice.com. All right, let's return to our conversation with Harvey Pearl. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Harvey, how can people get a hold of you and your amazing organization if they have questions or want more information?
Thank you for asking. 651-303-8889. And you can call on weekdays, you can call on weekends, you can call on weekday evenings. If we can't answer, we have a human that will answer. You will never be ignored when you call our number. And we take pride in returning phone calls. Yes. And we want that personal touch. One of the things I just want to touch on quickly in this segment, Ken, is that for those of you who are getting your health insurance through MNsure to get the tax credit, we are certified assisters. That's a status that requires annual testing. We go through the testing every year to make sure that we maintain our certified status. So we can navigate that already confusing marketplace as it is in trying to find health insurance from the various carriers. So if you're retiring early and you need some individual health insurance to cover you before Medicare starts, that's an example of people that we can address. We're also working with some select navigators in the MNsure system, and they're specializing in Medicaid medical assistance guidance. And I was just talking to another client this morning that is trying to figure out where she's at with her elderly waiver status. And so I'm connecting her up with one of my navigators that I team up with, and we're going to find a way to make it all work. It's just we're actively participating in your specific needs. So that's something that we're always working on.
Well, and you've got a great network, and I think people need to understand that just call you if you have any questions regarding anything elder care, anything senior care.
And if we don't know the answers, we'll find them.
Right.
I don't need to know all the answers. I just need to know who knows all the answers.
Right.
And so that's what we pride ourselves in, the network of people that we continue to grow with. I want to touch on the income protection thing for a moment and just kind of we talked about an example during the break, Ken, about how this really matters. So let's say you've got a couple and both are earning Social Security income. Now, this is not just limited to Social Security. It could be for other kinds of pension or whatever income, but let's use Social Security as an example. One earns $2,000 a month. The other earns $1,500 a month. Let's say the $1,500 a month person dies. Now, the $2,000 a month spouse just lost $1,500 a month of monthly income into that household. Ouch, that's $18,000 a year. Now, let's say the reverse is true. The $2,000 a month spouse dies and the $1,500 a month spouse gets a raise to the $2,000 a month income, but still has lost $1,500 a month income into that household. Still $18,000 a year of ouch. This is what income protection plans address. And this is something that's fairly new in the marketplace. It's something that we're on the cutting edge. We're on the beginning group of people that are doing this nationwide. This matters. And
do you have to be enrolled in Medicare or Social Security for the policy?
Great question. Nope. This is totally independent of Medicare.
Okay.
Totally independent. And one of the things that's neat about it is that whatever your premium will be your premium. It's steady, it's flat, it doesn't increase with age. Typically with like term policies, once you hit age 65, the premium goes up skyrocketing. That's not the case here. It stays steady and flat and reliable. And let's face it, as we say, cash flow matters. We want to make sure that you're going to comfortably survive. We're all living longer. Hitting the mid-90s, not odd anymore. You know, when Willard Scott celebrated 100-year-old birthdays on the Today Show with Smucker's Jam, 100 years old was odd. Now that's getting pretty common. So things like this matter for income protection for long-term care. And long-term care policies are something else that we've been working with. We have another colleague that we team up with on this. She's a wonderful expert on this area. And long-term care plans address home health care, assisted living, and nursing homes, not skilled nursing, because Medicare pays for skilled nursing rehab, but this is nursing homes. And that's the facility I used to operate when I was a nursing home administrator. But this can wipe out your total portfolio overnight. And so long-term care policies sound expensive. Most people don't think they can afford them. And the answer is yes, you can. And here's why. You buy what you can afford. Whatever works in your budget, that's going to be a lot more savings in the long run than you realize. And we can help work that out and show you how you can buy more than you think you can. So these are some of the additional things beyond Medicare that we've been working on, because it's not all about Medicare. It's about other things that impact our lives.
Right. Well, it's quality of life. And here's the thing I've heard too. I think you told me this on one of the shows. Like 1 in 3 people over 65 will experience some form of care. They'll need some form of care. So to think it's not going to apply to you or your spouse or your loved one, it's the odds are not in your favor.
And I'm glad you brought that up. It's actually, the updated numbers are 70% of us, 70% will be dependent on home health care, assisted living, or nursing homes. That's a lot. Couples, that raises to 91%.
Oh, that one or the other will be. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now think of it in terms of return on investment. If you buy a long-term care policy, what's the likelihood you're going to be able to get some of your money back, or if not much of it back? So it really is not out of the realm of possibilities, and it's more within your reach than you realize. And that's part of the education that we provide to help people be smart. Smart people make good decisions, and we want to make you even smarter than you already are. One of the other things that we've been reminding people in the world of Medicare particularly is whenever you're making a doctor's appointment, ask with every single appointment, does the doctor still accept Medicare for payment? Doctors can change their minds. Therapists can change their minds. You do not want to be surprised with a full bill because the doctor didn't take Medicare. And you cannot use the excuse of, I didn't know, or they didn't tell me, or whoever I asked, but I didn't get anyone's name. They said, oh, yeah, they accept Medicare. Get the person's name, get that desk clerk's name who you speak with, because that gives you some defense. If you do get that surprise bill from the anesthesiologist at full retail.
Right. And there's no UNC, I mean, no usual and customary limitations either. It's the
full bill.
Full retail.
Right. And there's some things we can fix. That one we can't fix.
Tough, yeah.
So you have to self-advocate. It's critical to self-advocate. The other thing that is more recent that we're reminding people is that for those of you who are on PrEP medications, pre-exposure prophylaxis, this is now being made available to you with a coupon pre-Medicare from the pharmaceutical agencies from anywhere from $0 to $25 a month. It makes it way more affordable. So this is for the Descovies and the Truvadas and the whatever we see on TV advertised on a regular basis. And if you're in Medicare, Part B as in Bravo will cover PrEP medications at 100%. That's amazing. That's really amazing, because this is a medication that prevents us from getting sick. And it works. It's very, very effective. You can get it for free. And we have the codes. They're not the same codes as Part D as in drugs. It's a different ICD code. We now have the codes. Our clients are able to get the codes from us. This is something different that we provide.
Well, yeah. And it's interesting. It's a Part B.
It's a Part B
versus Part D.
Have no idea why, not asking questions. I'm just like, okay, if that's the way you want to do it, great, fine. We'll just play by the rules. But in fact, one of my clients this week went to pick up his Descovy. They got a $750 bill with it. And he said, no, not doing that. Called me and said, they don't have the code. What's the ICD code number? And I was able to give him the number. He got it for $0. So we're able to, when I say we're there for you, we're really there for you. Don't hesitate to call. So we talk about, don't be the dinosaur here. Didn't do well for the dinosaurs. You got to keep on changing with the times. And there's so many different things going on that we need to be just constantly on the pulse beat of what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge, but
Yeah.
we're happy to be doing that. And we're lucky to have the resources that are keeping us up to speed
Mhm.
so we can keep you up to speed.
Well, this is your full-time job. This is your organization's full-time job. So
Yeah, well,
you're
I
staying
get-
on top of all this
I'm
stuff.
between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. I get a nap, but
There you
that's
go.
about it, you know.
Right. But that's why rather than people worrying about it, like you say, stomach acid,
Right.
don't sit and worry about it. Just call Harvey.
Right.
Tell him your situation
Mhm.
and remind us again how confidential that information is.
Very good point. So people share a lot of intimate details with us, their medical history, their financial history, whatever else is going on in their family dynamics. All of this is between you and us, and that's exactly where it stays. So that's a very, very good point. And people can really feel comfortable and safe knowing that we can talk about anything. Nothing's going to throw us off. I used to run a nursing home. We've
Right.
heard all the intimate
Right.
details of what people go through.
Right.
This is a safe
Right.
space.
Right. And the information that they provide is critical for you helping them find.
Exactly. The more information we have, the more effective research we can do.
Right. All right. All right. It's time for a short break. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And Harvey's here to talk about what's ahead for Medicare in 2026. If you have a question for Harvey, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Hageland, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about outdoor fires. Sitting around a fire is the oldest, most basic form of human activity.
What's new is in the way fire is burned. We can show you how to burn cleaner with a lot less smoke.
The radiant heat and light from an open fire is unmatched. It kindles our spirits and connects us to the outdoors. And now it's easier to experience and enjoy.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs wood and gas burning fire pits and fireplaces. Let us help you experience an outdoor fire without all the smoke.
Come see the many ways you can enjoy a fire outdoors.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Overwhelmed trying to make sense of Medicare? As a licensed advisor, I can help you determine your healthcare needs and evaluate your options. I'm Harvey Pearl of Pearl & Company, and I want you to have the peace of mind knowing you have the best coverage available. You deserve an advocate you can trust and coverage you can rely on. And there's no fee, ever. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Find me at pearlsofwisdom.com. That's PERLES of wisdom.com. So we can strategize together.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Sunshine today with a high of 74, then tonight clear with a low of 51. Treasure Island is sailing the high seas right now at Children's Theater Company. Join young Jim Hawkins and the infamous Long John Silver on an adventure packed with pirates, sword fights, live music, and heart-pounding action. Tickets are going fast. Get yours today at childrenstheater.org. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Hageland, and joining me today is Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl and Company, St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker right here in the Twin Cities. And Harvey is here today to talk about what is ahead for Medicare in 2026. Pearl and Company specializes in Medicare education, enrollment, and client servicing. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Harvey, how can our listeners contact you and your team if they have questions or want more information?
Thank you. It's 651-303-8889. And our website is 651medicare.com. So it's all, Medicare's all spelled out, 651medicare.com. And you'll see the Pearl and Company website and all the information that's on there, and our classes and our videos. Our clients are commenting that they really enjoy our videos. They're 3 to 5 minutes long. They're fairly comprehensive, easy to understand, very relaxed, because that's how we teach, is in a very relaxed format. And so there's a lot of really good useful information. And Raphael, our chief operation officer, manages all of those details and does an excellent job. And just a quick point out that our team of 5 is really a group of exceptional people. So Raphael and I basically do everything arm in arm on everything. He's just critically involved in all the details. Jennifer has been running our administrative details. We call her the grass catcher. She catches all the details so that we all look good. Lee and she are 2 new additions to our team. I'm very, very lucky to be able to work with the caliber of people I get to work with. I am blessed beyond words. I couldn't be luckier. I'm so grateful.
And that really benefits your clients because they're not a number. They're a person. These are your team connects with them, and that's the way it should be done.
Exactly. Well, I may have said it on a previous program. One day I answered the phone and the client said, "Oh, I wanted to talk to Jennifer." It's like, not a problem. Hold on, I'll get her for you. But that was huge. That was a great compliment. That she's that important.
Yes.
And everybody is just critically important to the whole mix.
Yeah.
So wanted to just touch base on a couple of more things. We're licensed in 6 total states right now, not just Minnesota where we're based, but Maryland, Georgia, Colorado, Arizona, and now Florida. And so if you are moving to another state, if you are, we're being asked to take on some additional states, we'll get there in time, but we've got to learn all the plans that are in each of these states. And every state is very, very different. Yeah. So we did just recently write plans in the state of Virginia, and we've got someone in DC coming up the ranks. So we have access to other states beyond just the state of Minnesota. And so for those of you who are in our other states listening today, hey, and our client in Thailand, regards out east. But one of the other things I also wanted to mention is that we talked about income protection and some of the additional services that we're expanding into. And one of the things that we have access to are things like final expense burial plans, especially for people who don't have life insurance, but they want those last part of life plans to be taken care of. We have access to things like that. We are getting in on the paid family leave event that's starting January 1 in Minnesota. It's kind of a form of disability insurance for employers to provide.
Right.
And so we're working with one of our uplines on helping to make that available to our group clients.
So that's really short-term disability in a sense, right?
Of sorts.
Of sorts.
Yeah. There's a lot of nuance with the state plan versus individual carrier plans. There's a lot of details in its own right. But we have access to these things. So if any of you are running a small business, a large business, and you just need some input on group plans for either paid medical leave or just general health insurance or even group Medicare, we can have those conversations with you. And international travel is becoming more and more and more important. Surprises happen when you travel outside of the US. People get sick and people, God forbid, die. And, those are tough logistics to deal with. And international travel coverage addresses those things to the point that if somebody were to pass away in a trip, one of the companies we work with, they take care of every logistic from start to finish. You just call them and say, what do I do now? And they pick up from there and they take care of all the communication between funeral homes, arrange for transportation, bring you back to the United States. It's really amazing. But it also addresses things like emergency evacuation and replacement medications. They will fly an advocate to you wherever you are in the world to speak on your behalf if you get ill and you're in the hospital. It's really amazing. And they've got translation services.
Let's say translation would be really important.
Big part. So for people who don't think international travel coverage is important, it's less expensive than you think. It's critical. And it only matters when you need it. And if you don't have it when you need it, that's where you're left holding an empty bag. And we don't want you holding an empty bag. So those are things that are we're working on. We're also working with a pharmacist recently. I had a conversation. We're working on a consult arrangement with a pharmacist who will talk with you on a one-to-one basis about what medications you're on and give you some recommendations on better things to do. So for example, she worked with me on my Ozempic, and I'm now taking it every 10 days instead of every 7 days, which makes a huge difference because it has a longer efficacy in the body than once every 7 days. Well, this makes my supply last longer.
Exactly.
And my A1C has just been stellar.
Wow.
So she's been so wonderful. So we're working out an arrangement on how we can offer that service to our clients as well, and on finding ways for your prescriptions to be less expensive. So even in a prescription drug plan where you're getting a group rate, sometimes the prices are still a little bit high.
Oh, yeah.
So we have some resources that we've been working on to try to find even better prices. But we're going to be back here on November 8th with you. Looking forward to that at 12 noon. And again, my point is what we do is personal. We want to get to know you. I'm having coffee tomorrow morning with one of my 92-year-old clients because we get to have coffee 4 times a year, and I just look forward to it. This is personal. We want to get to know you. 651-303-8889. I hope we get to speak with you soon.
Fantastic. We're at the end of the show, and I want to thank Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker, for coming in today and sharing what's ahead for Medicare in 2026. Harvey's company specializes in Medicare education, enrollment, and client servicing. We'll have him back here in November. So if you have any questions, just give him a call or go on pearlandcompany.com.
Or 651medicare.com.
That's right. That's right. All right. Join us again next Saturday at noon for another broadcast. And thank you for listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about your health and your life. Until next time, choose to live well.
Singing Italian song.